All right, we are in the studio corner with Tony Clark. Dude, what's up?
Hey, good to see you, man.
It is amazing to have you. You are like the 10th guest I've had on from Gold's Gym.
Wow. Well, that's your social circle. That's what you pull from, right?
We got to give a shout out to Gold's Gym because I've been working out there for what, 13 years, 10 years, I don't know, some crazy number.
Yeah.
And I have so many friends there. And it's not until recently I discovered that people that go there have incredible outside lives.
Right.
It's such a networking place. That's where I found you.
I know.
I mean, how long did we know each other before you invited me to a magic show?
A couple years.
Yeah.
We probably know each other at least 5 years.
I cracked your back multiple times before.
My amateur chiropractor, right. Perfect. Yeah, there is. It's interesting when you get to know people. I always wonder, too, like, at the gym, like, what does that guy do? Why is he here during the day? You know?
So doesn't he have a job?
Right. These guys, they have to be some kind of artist or something or independent something to be in the gym at 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock.
Or they're working night shifts and whatnot.
Right. So it's interesting. It's fun to learn about people. You know?
Yeah, actually, I just met a guy. He came up to me the other day. You know who he is. He's been going there for just as long as we have. And he walked up. He's like, "Hey, you're the guy with the podcast." I'm like, "Yeah."
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "My name's Steve. I've been a stuntman for 35 years." And he's worked on all these big shows. And my wife is a touring guitar player. She played for Kenny Loggins for however many years. And I'm like, "I've seen you in here for how long?" And I'm just hearing about this.
Wow.
Like, it's incredible.
Yeah.
Like when I first met you, all we talked about was lifting and bodybuilders.
Yeah.
Like, this guy must follow bodybuilding, and like that was it.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I'm a world class magician.
Right. Well, yeah, I don't. You know, it's funny because I'm not like a guy that performs a lot. I don't like doing it out of the realm of the performance space. I don't perform. A lot of guys carry stuff with them all the time. They're doing tricks. You know, they probably do it at the gym, but I don't do that. I keep it like separate. I separate it out.
It's probably a good thing. Else everyone's
is.
gonna start asking you to do stuff.
Yeah, I don't mind doing it, but I need to be. For me, it's mental. Like if I'm at the gym, I'm mentally there to work out.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm gonna perform, mentally I'm there to perform. So it's different for me. It's hard for me to switch. Yeah.
Trust me, I understand that completely.
Yeah.
On stage performance is a totally different mindset.
It is.
So I'm a musician. I'm gonna tell you a little story.
Sure.
Just for the sake of the question that I have for you.
All right.
When I was 3 years old, I was sitting on the couch, and a commercial came on, and there was some guy on stage playing guitar and singing. I remember looking at that and saying, "I want to do that," and that was it. That's what I wanted. I never stopped wanting that. I knew that. My dad introduced me to classic rock, Led Zeppelin, Deep Purple. My sisters introduced me to like 90s punk rock and heavy death metal, which I really love. My mom introduced me to Motown, Beatles. Like, I was just surrounded by music my whole life growing up. So it's very easy to say like I found music through multiple different things. I knew it made sense. And as I got older, I realized a lot of musicians relate to that kind of upbringing. Like, I was around music all the time. And I was thinking, I was working on the outline and thought about some things I wanted to talk about. And I was like, I need to know, as a magician, how does, like, you think of a little kid playing guitar, I found my way there, but a magician, how do you find your way I read your bio and it said 6 years old.
Yeah. It's interesting, because my parents are immigrant Italians. I'm first generation
rock and roll
in this country. And, I admire immigrants, as you know, and they're hard workers, but there was no entertainment in my family whatsoever. The closest thing I had to entertainment that I could trace back is my dad was a good-looking guy when he was younger, and somebody approached him to possibly do like a commercial or something, and of course the parents said, "Hell no, you're not going to Rome or whatever." So my father's dream was cut short, but maybe that was the only glimmer of entertainment in the family bloodline that I could find.
Wow.
But I was 6 years old, and I was watching a TV commercial back east in Connecticut, where I grew up, and it was TV Magic Cards, Marshall Brodeen, which actually just passed away last 2 weeks ago. Okay. Marshall Brodeen, TV Magic Cards. And I go, wow, that's cool, and he did the tricks, and oh my God. And back then, between the commercials of the cartoons, he'd have commercials quite a bit, because I talked to him, I met him like years ago, and he goes, yeah, it was cheap back then. It was
you could do that.
It was regional, yeah, he had commercials on TV all the time. I saw that, and I was like, it caught my eye, and I wanted to buy one of those TV Magic cards, like Svengali deck, they call them, special decks. So I went down to Five and Dime, which don't exist any longer, and I remember my mother used to go there to pay the bills. She'd go down, back in the day, to go to the superstore, certain stores, pay certain bills, and I go, oh my God, there's a deck of cards. It says TV Magic Cards on it, really big letters, red, and I looked at it, and it was like $2 or something. My mom was like, oh no, that's way too much back then. Imagine like 40 years ago. it's like $2 for a deck of cards. And they go, no,
Yeah.
buy these. These are like 15 cents. My mom didn't understand that was a special deck of cards, but we didn't have money. My father worked hard. My mother worked home. So I saved and saved. It took me almost a year to save my own pennies, but I finally bought that deck of cards, and I gobbled it up, man.
How old were you when you bought them?
I was probably 7-ish.
Wow. That's a
6.
badass story, man.
Yeah,
That's-
so I started, but then I got books and stuff back then. There was no
Yeah.
videos, obviously, but I would go to the library and get books and take out like 10 books maximum from the library and then work my way up, age group. At one point, I think I went through the entire library of Magic books at one point.
wow.
But I was like,
So there was never a question for you.
I don't
the
know.
moment
Yeah,
you saw
it was weird. It was just something about it just intrigued me, and I liked ventriloquism too. Because I thought it was magical. Charlie McCarthy back in the day when I was going, and Tyler and Lester, African American gentleman with the little guy, those were the guys around. And I go,
Yeah.
to me that was magic. So I got a ventriloquist dummy for a while, and I was doing it, but that was
Dude.
hard. So I did that, and I was in my room for hours just doing stuff for myself. It was weird, but I'd be in the basement, my house in Connecticut. My mom would be stomping on the floor. Come on up for dinner. You've been down there all day. I would be on there for 8 hours. I wouldn't even realize it.
Wow.
That's how.
Especially that young. Wow.
Yeah, it was weird. Yeah, I just loved it so much. It was such an interesting grabbed me. I don't know why, but thank God it did. It was
That is so bad. So the deck of cards you got what was your first trick then? Like looking back, if you had to claim something as the first magic trick that you achieved.
The first thing I could remember clearly was a vanishing pencil that I got out of a book before I bought the cards, because I was saving it for the cards. But I got books, It was a vanishing pencil. You take a pencil, you roll it up in a piece of paper, it falls into your lap, you crunch the ends, you show them, tap it, all that baloney, rip it up, and it vanishes.
Oh, wow.
And imagine that. I showed my mom, and she was fooled. I don't know if she really was,
But you believed
felt
it.
like it, and maybe I did. But all it took was that reaction. And then, how do you get a reaction from anybody like that?
Yeah.
There's nothing else you can really do.
You can't compare it.
Right. So I was hooked. And the more I did it, and then, I was very quiet. I was very introverted. I didn't like to read. Magic was the only reason why I read, because I
Wow.
wanted to learn the secrets. I didn't like reading. I never learned. I mean, I learned, but my parents never read to me as a kid. They're immigrant Italians. They didn't read English. So books were like a rarity. Didn't have a bookshelf in my house.
Yeah.
So it came along at a young age, and it just grabbed onto me, and it was fun.
So did you stay introverted as you grew up?
A little bit. I always did. I think that's why maybe at one point, I think it always. I liked in public. I was introverted, but if I was on stage, if I did a play, like I do plays for school,
Okay.
I was cool. But
You were an entertainer.
yeah, but off the stage, people would never guess it.
Still till this day.
Yeah,
They wouldn't guess it.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know why. I think because like I said, it's a mindset. I think I have to be set and doing it. I can't be off stage and be this, and it has to be,
Yeah.
it has to be a separate thing for me.
It's intentional.
Yes, exactly.
So, I mean, I don't know how. It's definitely for me growing up as a musician. I wasn't exactly cool, quote unquote cool. Like the guitar didn't get me the girls. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
didn't?
No, I
Oh.
didn't. I definitely kept it to myself and played as much as I could and whatnot. It was
Right.
never for that. But I wasn't cool. But I also wasn't ridiculed for it in the sense of like it wasn't. The so-called nerdy thing to do, like it was just guitar.
Gotcha.
And I, growing up as a magician, especially at the younger years, did you ever deal with the other kids not understanding why you liked it so much, ridicule or anything like that?
Yeah, there's a combination of things that would happen. I remembered there were some kids that thought it was fun and cool, but then there were some kids that got threatened by it.
Wizard.
Well, no, just because you got more attention.
Oh yeah, well that's always
It's
that.
at that age you're just fighting for attention.
Well, especially as that long ago as an immigrant coming from an immigrant family,
Yeah.
and then you're doing magic, like it's got to be
Right.
totally like where'd this guy come from?
Right. And Italians, they're kind of hardcore. They're like, they're not the greatest audience in the world, First of all, they don't pay attention because they talk too much, number one. And then they know you. And, oh, you're Conchetta's son. You do lots of magic. That's cute. They don't listen. They don't watch.
Yeah.
So it was always a challenge. But it was essentially high school. This happened. I joined the talent show. Now, they knew I acted and stuff. I did like plays. We did Grease, and we did what was the other one? Dracula. I was Renfield in Dracula.
Hell yeah.
And Grease, I was Duty, and all these, Then we had a talent show. Nobody really knew that I did magic, like really serious. So
Yeah.
I did my stage act for a talent show. They were freaking blown away. They had
Dude.
no idea where my tailcoat, my doves, my birds, my
Fuck
fire.
yeah.
Kicked their ass. And people are like, what the fuck? They didn't know. Teachers are like looking at me after that, and then and somebody, yo, that's not fair. That's not fair. You're a professional, man. That's not fair.
Yeah, you can't compete with us.
Yeah, it's not fair. You're a professional. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm in high school with you. I'm a professional. What are you talking about?
I'm just good at what I do.
I'm in right tech. I'm in carpentry. I'm a carpenter. I'm in a carpentry shop. I'm a shop guy. But they were blown away because I didn't flaunt it in class either. I never did much. Just here and there, maybe a tiny bit, but not really. But when I put my suit on, my tails, music, bang, I banged it. They were just
that image comes out, yeah.
And then from then on, it was like people looked at me differently. It was weird. My teachers, and they all kind of looked, whoa.
It's almost like they had this new respect they didn't understand, right?
Yeah. Because it was kind of a rough school. Back in the day, those schools were for kids that didn't want to go to other schools.
Yeah.
And I went there because I wanted to learn how to build magic. I went to carpentry. I wanted to learn how to build props,
Well, fuck
But
yeah.
trade schools back then were not looked upon as high education at all.
Yeah.
So all the rejects, quote unquote, would go there. But I was like, I loved it, So yeah, going to that school was kind of interesting, and then seeing that magic. I think that was like my junior year or so. Yeah, it was like junior year, I think. Yeah.
So did that change your perspective on what you wanted to do in the future, like seeing a reaction or experiencing a reaction like that?
Yeah, I've always wanted to do it. I knew I was going to do magic always.
So that must have been a motivating experience then.
Yeah, those little things that how it is. You take those little those little gigs that give you that bump, that give you that extra push.
Oh hell yeah.
Those little things are good for people.
I won my talent show when I was in 7th grade.
Yeah, see,
I didn't plan it. I just walked on and played some random stuff on the guitar for like a few minutes.
And you kicked your butt.
Yeah, and it was just like, oh, okay, I guess I am good at this. Like I can do this.
That's all you need. Those little nuggets to keep you going. It's like golfing. I'm so bad at golfer, but every once in a while you hit a good shot that keeps you going back.
You're like, I'm going golfing tomorrow now.
I'm doing it, baby. I made one good shot and almost got a hole in one. I'm gonna go back. But that's it. Those are little nuggets.
So career-wise, like you obviously knew you wanted to do it all the time.
Yeah.
It's always what you want to do. But like, what point did you know, like, okay, I can make this my career? Like, was it a paid gig you got? Was it your first paid performance?
Well, interesting enough, I was always an entrepreneur as a kid. I started doing kids' birthday parties for money. My first gig, I was 9 years old.
Wow.
And I got paid $9.
Oh shit.
My neighbor's friend's neighbor, whatever. It was like 2 people over from my house. But I remember this. She talked me down from $10 to $9. Okay, number one. And that was my first show. I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
And she knew that. But the kicker was she gave me $5 in singles and $4 in quarters. And after that, I remember I would never charge anybody $9 for a show in my life again. And I think I doubled my price after that. It was like $25 after that. But that was my first paid gig at 9. And my dad would drive me around on the weekends. I'd do 2 or 3 shows sometimes on weekends.
Holy
kids'
shit.
birthdays. 9
9 years old?
9, 10, 11, yeah, all the way through high school. My dad, God bless him, was an Uber driver before Uber drivers existed. He'd drive me all over Stanford, Greenwich, Connecticut, Darien.
Wow.
And I do, it went to $50 and $65 a show. Then I bumped it to $100.
You're making a freaking living.
Not bad for a little kid.
It's not bad. It's incredible
I'm
for
making
a
a couple
little
$100 a month.
Jesus.
But I would invest it back in my magic, and I would never have to ask my parents for money because I didn't like asking my parents for money because I could see my dad work so hard. My dad worked 3 jobs. And
Yeah.
I never in my heart I was able to ask him for money. So I learned. Oh, he's working. Well, that's what I should be doing. He didn't have to say it.
Yeah, but I mean, I maybe I'm just speaking because this is the generation I live in. Like, you go up to someone my age, and like 99% of the time they'll tell you like, this is my hobby, this is what I like to do, and this is what I do for a living.
Right.
And they're two such separate things.
Yes.
And it's almost like impossible to convince them that those should be one and the same, or can be one and the same.
Yeah.
If you just find the right outlets and find the right avenues. And here you are back in a time where the idea of following your dreams is even farther out of sight.
Yeah.
Nowadays we can say follow your dreams, but back then, like, definitely not. And you, without question, said, I'm going to do something that literally is super out there.
Yeah.
Coming from an immigrant family, everything's already hard enough. It's like, I'm going to make money with that now.
Right.
I'm fucking 9 years old.
Right.
Dude.
Right.
That's incredible.
But I never focused on the money though.
Well, of course not.
I charged them because I knew other guys were charging that money. It's other guys in the area were doing kids shows. And,
you had to make your spot.
Well, yeah, I was worth it, and
Hell yeah.
I'm buying stuff. So I knew I needed money to build my act more. So I charged people, and I figured out what the going rate was. And one guy took me under his wing, kind of a hippie guy, really cool magician, and he taught me to do magic with these little gerbils in a pan, and kids love gerbils. And I moved on to doves after that. When I was like 11, 12, I started using doves in my act. So I don't know. It was just a infatuation. It's hard to really recall it, but I know I loved it, and I never would stop. I pulled away from it a little bit during my later teens when I got into powerlifting. And then
I saw a picture that you posted the other day.
I was huge.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit, that's not Tony.
Yeah, I was 2.25. I was second in the state of Connecticut, but I was not healthy. You know, I was taking a lot of substances and stuff, not healthy. So I met my teacher in New York just by luck. I met Slidini, as a magician in New York, and then I was attracted to him, but no, I don't know why. We started talking, and I asked him to give lessons. He does. Oh, good. I started taking lessons from him once a week going to New York City. And before you know it, I got into magic again and got out of powerlifting. And
so you stepped away from magic then as a teenager?
A little bit, tiny bit. I would say I still did shows when I was huge. I remember I couldn't even wear my tuxedo jacket anymore. I had to wear like a kimono because my chest was so huge. I was so big, my neck, and I couldn't wear regular clothes. So I had this like Japanese.
It's got to make it harder because you got to hide stuff, don't you?
Yeah. For the kids shows, I didn't that much, but a little bit. Yeah, it's hard, But
Yeah.
I look back at those pictures. Oh my God, I was so uncomfortable. Jesus Christ, what
Yeah.
am I doing with that damn kimono on? Imagine walking into a house like that. I was 2.25. These kids probably thought I was gonna squash them. Nobody ever gave me any problems, and that's probably why. But anyway, so I did that, and then at the age of, that was between 19, I started getting into bodybuilding first, and I got into powerlifting. And I don't know, I just like the challenge of it. I guess, it was a challenging thing, and you know what it was too? It was an independent thing.
Oh, I understand that 100%.
Because in a team effort, I remember team sports, but I always said the gym is the most honest place you could ever be. Because you could never say, I could lift 100 pounds if you don't lift 100 pounds.
Yeah.
You can't even lie to yourself. So to me, it was always an honest place. And I remember, oh, that's cool. So I just got into I met the best people in the business. They trained me, and I got really good. And, first contest, second in the whole state. But it wasn't healthy. And thank God I met my teacher. And then I met another mentor after that in my hometown, and it kind of took me even further. So, but that's what it is too. When you're good at something, you attract people because they see it.
Yeah.
You bring those people around you. You kind of bring that. If it's the opposite. If you're negative and you're making trouble, you bring those people around you as well.
Yeah.
If you're passionate about what you do and you're really good, people come around. And it's interesting that there's people there that could probably help you or give you advice.
Somehow they feel that energy and they're
Yes.
just attracted to it.
Yes.
Like that's just how it works.
Yeah, it is. It's true. It's true. And don't look for it. It does happen or doesn't, but don't look for it. But it does
Well,
happen
more
sometimes.
importantly, I think it's important to expose it.
Yeah.
Obviously you're not doing it to look for the people exactly, but if you hide away something you care about and are passionate about, like purposely hiding it away and keeping it away from everyone, then of course
Right.
no one's going to find out.
No.
You
You
know,
have
but
to
if
put it out there.
You have to be confident, stand by what you do and put it out there, and boom,
Yeah. That's where the guts come in,
Hell yeah.
That's where the passion overrides the fear. That's what I say.
Oh,
passion
yeah.
overrides the fear because we're fear. I get stage fright still. I'm that concerned, but the passion overrides it.
Absolutely.
So that's
It has
that's the
to.
key. Yeah.
It fucking has to.
Yeah. As a performer, you gotta.
I saw a really cool quote the other day. It's like, if you can't overcome the fear, then do it afraid.
Oh, there you go.
And I was like, yeah, it's pretty simple.
Yeah,
like,
fake
do
it till you make it kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, well, then that is what it is. Like, what matters more, the fear, you being afraid, or the passion? But no, I get that. I totally understand that. I mean, I'm still trying to chase the crazy dream, right?
Yeah. You know what it is though? I think chasing it is a way to think of it, but also is you're on the ride. You're on the ride.
Oh, I like that.
You're not chasing it. You're on the ride.
Yeah.
Chasing it, you're behind it. You're on the fucking thing. You're riding the ride.
Fuck yeah, dude.
You're riding it. So enjoy the ride.
I love that.
There'll be some stops. There'll be some cool destinations. Enjoy the
Some
ride.
bumps,
Yeah, enjoy it though.
Yeah, fuck yeah. I love that. I really,
the ride,
really like that.
and then the ride should never stop.
Hell no.
Just stay
I
on
don't
the
think
ride.
it could. If you really are passionate about it, I don't think it's possible.
Yeah, there's no any art form. It's never ending.
Yeah, you can't stop.
No, you'll never learn everything there is. It's impossible. You'll never do everything there is. It's impossible. You can never.
You can do anything, but you can't do everything.
No.
Kind of thing.
Right. That's the key. So I think the key is though, stay in the game. That's the key. I always tell young guys,
Stay in the game.
Stay in the game.
Defining what that means too.
Yeah. If you have to get a job to stay in the game, do what you got to do. It's to stay in the game. Like some guys like, I'm still working this job, but I want to stay in the game. At least you're in the game.
Yeah.
So you got double. It's a double win. You're in the game, but you're pursuing it. Don't give up. Stay in the game. That's the key. If you get out of the game, then you're out.
That's a really interesting way to look at it, actually. I mean, because being able to, I mean, it doesn't matter what you're doing, like as a musician, as an artist, as an actor, as a magician, anything regarding entertainment, especially, or creativity, what does that mean to stay in the game? Like, you can work 2 jobs and once a week go to an audition at some, terrible place. Right. Is that staying in the game, or is it you go home every night and every ounce of free time you have is dedicated to something along those lines?
Yeah, you can't fool yourself, right?
Yeah, see, that's where it's hard.
Yeah, like going to the gym, people think they're working out.
Oh god,
I go to the gym an hour, they're working out, but they're working out for 10 minutes.
Look the same 10 years later.
Yeah, so you got to do the right things.
Yeah,
stay in the game, but you have to really play the game. You have to really be in the game.
Yeah, once you're there, sit down to play. Don't just show up at the table and watch what happens.
Yeah. You have to be honest with yourself.
Yeah, I mean fuck, we're creatives. That's a hard thing to do.
Yeah, it is.
That's a battle.
It is, and it's hard to understand. Other people can't advise you. It's hard for people to advise you because they don't know exactly what to tell you. You're an artist. What do they tell you how to do this? Yeah,
it's like you either got to do it or don't.
Yeah, you're
Only
in a family
you
of artists. You understand different arts in your family. You can't tell somebody what to do. They do what they do by their feeling.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the greatest gifts. My mom said to me once, she was not intellectual, but smart. She had like 2nd grade education because of the war in Italy. She had half her leg blown off, or calf blown off by a shrapnel of a grenade. So she went through a lot as a kid. She never went to school, 2nd grade. But she was smart, very smart. She says, I can't tell you what to do, but I know you know what you want to do, so I'm going to let you do what you want to do.
Oh wow!
That was it. She allowed me to do it. She had confidence in me.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Like I said before, if people see that you're passionate about something, they will understand it.
But you have to do it though.
Yeah. It's not bullshit. Like I'm sorry to say, the millenniums now, young guys, they're talking it.
No one's working. Yeah.
No, passion is physical to me.
Fuck yeah.
Passion is a physical thing. It's a doing. It's a verb. It's not talking about it.
Wow.
Don't tell me you're doing something. Do it. Show me that. Feel it. Passion you have to feel. To feel it, there's a physical element to feeling. I'm passionate about lifting weights. Well, I never fucking lifted weight. No, you can't understand what that means. No, you get a pump. You go in the gym. That's when you feel.
Yeah.
It. So entertainment's the same way. You can't just say you're doing it. You got to really be doing it.
Yeah.
Feel it.
You can't sit at your fucking hipster coffee shop and drink your weird coffee and talk about what's wrong with everything and what you're going to do about it. Right. And then go home and watch Netflix.
Right. No, you got to really, that's right.
I'm a little bitter, as you can tell.
Well, it's interesting because I think what's happening now is with all this social media, everything is accessible.
Yeah.
Right? Before we had to dig for it. Mm-hmm. When I did magic, there was no videos. I had to go through books and then find other books and really read this writing and understand it and extract it. But I did it. Nobody just handed it to me. I didn't go on YouTube and watch guys show me magic tricks. Now it's all these guys that just throw stuff up there.
And even if you do go on YouTube, like, for today's now, like, if you do go on YouTube, YouTube is a great tool.
It is.
I think it's great. But don't go on YouTube and say you watched a video, so all of a sudden you're better. Like, if you're going on YouTube, you have to go on with intention. Like, I'm watching this video because I need to learn how to do this thing, and this guy teaches it the best.
It's a wonderful tool. I love it. I use it. Yeah.
Well, that's the problem. Like, especially with social media and like accessible factor, it's like, because it's accessible doesn't mean that you get to just say you use it and you've gotten better.
Right.
Like, if you're not actually using, like, you can't just hold a hammer and a nail and say I'm building something. You got to fucking hammer the nail.
Exactly. But
I love that. Passion is physical though. What a statement.
Yeah.
Passion is a physical thing.
That's how I feel about it. That's why I think I like physical stuff. I mean, everything is physical. You play music, it's physical.
Oh, fuck yeah, it's
you're
physical.
It's
physical vibration.
Yeah, there's physical elements to it.
Yeah.
You can't talk yourself through a song. You can't talk yourself through a show.
Yeah.
Even a comedian, there's physical.
Yeah.
He's emotionally charging himself and moving up and down, and there's physical movements in his body.
Which is why there will always be an entertainment business. Because
Yeah.
people like that. They crave that. They need it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good outlet. It's a good way to escape. I call, like, for magic, I say it's a mental vacation. I give you a mental vacation.
Oh, I love that. Mental vacation.
Yeah, don't forget, I'm not here to fool you. I'm here to take you away from your everyday thoughts. Forget
Believe
about
something is possible.
Right.
You know.
And just take you away and use wonder, to get you away from it all. We forget about wonder. As kids, we know what wonder is. As adults, we let it go and it disappears.
Because it's not quote unquote practical.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Which is bullshit.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's where all the best ideas come from.
Yeah, yeah. All the greatest ideas are stuff that you never imagined would ever happen. Oh, we're going to fly to the moon. That's impossible.
Yeah.
George Méliès did a video, a movie of his famous Man to the Moon. Oh, he's insane. There's no way you get to the moon.
Yeah.
You gotta fucking what? That's stupid, dude. Don't talk about stuff like that. People think you're nuts. You never get to the moon. Come on.
Well,
Boom. There you go. Exactly.
I fucking love that, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna remember that for a long time. The physical thing, passion is physical.
Yeah,
I think
it
it's an
is.
important thing to remind yourself
Yeah.
when any sort of creativity, like
Yeah.
Any
Any
anything-
job.
anything passionate, like
Anything. You're
what
a writer.
part of it is physical.
It's all physical.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Even if you're talking, it's physical. If you want to be a good speaker, it's physical.
Yeah.
There's oxygen, there's air, there's tonality of your voice, levels, changes.
What an incredible thing.
Yeah.
I hope the people listening are going to take that and remind themselves of that every day.
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah.
Passion is physical.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just totally went into my head there. I was like, that is.
Yeah.
I had to touch the right spot. So speaking of performing,
Yes.
I've only actually had the pleasure of seeing one of your shows, and it was at the Magic Castle.
Yeah, man. You look good in a suit, dude, by the way.
Dude,
custom
I've-
made. That had to be custom made, that suit. 'Cause
I definitely went through a lot of different suits until I found one that fit me, and then I had to have it tailored as best as possible.
right. It's hard when you're big and you're,
Well, I'm like a short guy with very broad shoulders and a tiny waist.
Right,
Like,
they hate
it's
you in
just
the custom
nothing makes
tailor
sense.
shop, yeah.
It was a shit show.
Right, right.
But it worked
look
for the
good.
time.
Look good. yeah. It was good.
So before we talk about the performance, because I definitely want to talk about that, it was a really great night. The fucking Magic Castle, man. That is like the most exclusive club in the world.
It is. It is.
It's like literally considered the most exclusive club in the world. It's dead center of Hollywood. It's
Yeah.
impossible to get in. So how did you get involved with it? Like, were you
Wow.
approached? Did you audition?
Wow.
I mean, I'm so fucking curious. And I don't know how much you can tell me.
Okay. This goes back to, and that's odd. I just met a guy from Dale Carnegie course, getting my haircut 2 days ago. The guy works for a global network of Dale Carnegie. I read Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, which
Okay.
I recommend everybody. And I think it should be a book that should be read by everybody before they get out of high school. Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, I read that because of Tony Robbins. I was heavily into Tony Robbins back in the day
Fuck yeah.
because I needed to improve and I wanted to figure out the best ways to improve. So I started practicing. I wanted to compete for a competition. 1988, the World Class Championship for Magic at the Society of American Magicians National Convention in St. Louis. So I started preparing for it. So I get there and I use visualization. I use all the techniques to rehearse. These are all in my book, by the way. I wrote a book last year, and I put all those
Yeah.
techniques in the book.
You guys can't see this, but Tony gave me a gift. It's his book. It's called Insider Secrets: Mastering the Craft, Show, and Business of Magic.
Yeah, so it's all in there.
I'm pumped to fucking read this.
Yeah, it's all those secrets of rehearsing. Because that's like I said, you could pretend like you're rehearsing, or you could pretend like you're working out. But unless you do it right and improve every single time, you're not going to get better. So,
Yeah.
long story short, cut to the chase. 1988, my goal was to get to the contest because Bill and Irene Larson, the owners of the Magic Castle, always attended the national conventions, and they would grab the new entertainers. So I'm like, okay, perfect. I'm going to go to St. Louis. I'm in Connecticut. I'll never get to L.A. otherwise. I'm going to go to St. Louis, right in the middle of the country. Perfect. I'm going to compete. If I win, they'll see me. They'll book me. I'm going to be in. That's all I did. I visualized that for 3, 4, 5 months in my head, 6 months, rehearsing every day, 3 times a day, videotaping. I bought the first Recon camera that ever existed, the mini just to watch my act over and over again because I rehearse, So I get there, St. Louis, and I ask around, hey, is Milton, Irene here? No, they're not going to come this year. They had to go to Europe for something. I'm like, oh, shit. So anyway, no worries. But I go, I do the contest, kick ass. Bang, I win. First place. Right?
Fuck.
So now, when you win the first place contest on Wednesday, Thursday night, they put you on the professional show as an opening act. Hey, this is the winner. Welcome to the new world, professional magic. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm on the show getting ready, and a guy pulls me over and goes, hey, do you know who your MC is? I said, no, Peter Pitt. I'm like, who's Peter Pitt? He goes, you don't know who Peter Pitt is? I said, no. He's the entertainment director for the Magic Castle.
Oh my god. It's funny how that works, huh?
I'm like, what? So I did my act. Of course, I wish he didn't tell me that, but I was more nervous than normal. I did it. Audience loved it. It was great. 2,000 people. So after the show, I was very modest. I said, Mr. Pitt, how do I audition for the Magic Castle? He says, "You just did." Gave me his card. Boom! My head almost exploded. Call me when you get back to Connecticut.
That's like oh my God, that's like the most epic thing
Yeah.
ever. You just did.
Yeah.
The most exclusive club in the world. Boom, you're in. Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, it was like better than even Milt and
Yeah, that's
yeah.
way better experience.
Better than the brother being there and the wife. Yeah. So he gave me.
my
And I
God.
called him pretty quick, and then he booked me of that year. That was in June that was July of '88. I went in September. I performed at Magic Castle for the first time. Flew out to L.A. And then I saw L.A. I'm like, whoa, my God. This is amazing. I've never been to L.A. I'm in Connecticut.
Wow.
I never went
So
anywhere.
your first trip to LA was to
I've never
the
been
Magic
anywhere but
Castle.
Italy once when I was 12. I never traveled anywhere.
Holy
New York
shit.
City, of course, but California. It was September, warm. People all good looking, young artists. Go to Melrose. Some friend of mine took me to Melrose to show.
Oh man, it's a
all
deadly
these, all these
place.
shops, all these shops and clothes, and I said, what am I doing in Connecticut? I did the shows. I did a 1 week worth of shows. The best
At the Magic Castle.
Yeah, incredible. And it was so weird. I visualized it so much when I got there. I felt like I was already there before, by visualization techniques that I used.
Wow.
Because I was so nervous how to get over that, But I got there and I was like, oh my God, I feel like I've been here before. It's weird. I got home, told my parents, I'm gonna move to California. Yeah, that's nice. 8 months later, I moved to California. And that was
Wow.
it, because of the Magic Castle. And I moved right down the street from the Magic Castle. I'm going to actually do a video on that. It's a 30-year anniversary that I moved out here. And I'm going to go to my studio apartment where I first moved, at the corner of La Brea and Franklin, where I first started.
Oh, you're literally right next to the Magic Castle.
Right down the
Holy
street.
Shit.
Yeah, I used to walk, unknowingly how dangerous it was. I'd walk down to the Magic Castle, back and forth at night. Yeah. That's
Oh
how
my
I got in.
God.
That's how I got in.
So right then he told you you're a member.
Well, yeah, he said, call me and you're booked. Yeah. So he booked me. Yeah.
So what, did you play the big room? Did you play in the
The
small?
Palace. The Palace.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Like real deal.
The main room, yeah.
Oh my God.
I know.
So
It was cool.
when I was there, I asked around a little bit. I the downstairs bar, and I talked to a few different people. And there's a woman telling me that her husband was trying to become a member, and she said that you have to be a magician to be a member of the club.
Yes, you have to audition. I actually was on the committee to be audition committee, which is actually last night they had the every first Monday of the month they have audition. Like say you want to be a member.
Okay.
You got to come and audition for the committee.
And you have to be a good enough magician.
Yeah, you have to be decent.
So an average person cannot be a member of the Magic Castle.
No, it's a magic club.
So how do people get in then? I mean, you
gotta
invited
audition.
me.
You got to audition.
But like for a night to like say I want to go see Magic.
You just got to get a membership. Member gives you a pass, guest pass.
So how many passes can you give?
You can give a pretty good number.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't go crazy unless they see you abusing it.
Yeah.
But they like that. That's why it's so busy now because they have so many people going. They're doing phenomenal.
Damn. What a wild, wild concept.
Oh, it's 55 years has been going on. Yeah, 55 years.
Holy shit.
Yeah, the Magic Castle. Yeah.
Dead Center of Hollywood, most exclusive place ever. It's
It is,
incredible.
yeah. It's very expensive now. It's a high end restaurant now. Very different, yeah.
Well,
Different.
I ate at the restaurant. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
It was,
Very expensive, even more so than you were there. Yeah. So it's a different world, but it's cool. Hey, that's what brought me to California, man. I love it.
so do you think that the exclusivity of the membership keeps it afloat? Like the fact that everyone wants to be a part of the Magic Castle, or is it the Magic Castle itself, what it provides to its members, that's so intriguing?
I think it's a combination of both.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a combination of both. I think it's because the public really supports it. Magicians, we have like Wednesday night is our members' night.
Okay.
And there's like 6,000 members though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But they're open 7 days a week, and so they're busy all the time. They're doing
So
well.
if they're open 7 days a week, like 6,000 members, I mean, you're giving out members, passes for people to come all the time. So
Yeah.
they just count on the members getting people to come all the time.
That's how it works. Yeah,
That's like,
that's been.
I don't think it was like it's such a crazy business model, but holy shit.
Yeah, but it took 55 years to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
It definitely wasn't like that before.
Oh my God! In the beginning, it was really to hear the stories. Back in the day, they're struggling a lot. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean,
It
it's
came
just,
a long way. Well, Magic is popular more than ever now. That's
Yeah.
why I just worked on a pilot because Magic is getting into the mainstream more.
Yeah.
Because of Shin Lim winning, AGT, then he won the World Championship in AGT. Magic is so popular now. I don't remember it being this popular probably ever in my career. It's really good. It's a really good time of year. Good time for Magic right now.
Yeah.
It's like the second golden age of Magic.
Well, I think it's not even just magic. I think it's the idea of a live performance. I mean, take music for example. Touring has never been more important.
Yeah.
They make their living off touring.
I know.
And it's because the record labels and you can't make money
Right.
doing this. Music
It's
is free.
all
and
live
streaming.
shows now, yeah.
Like, and that people can say what they will, but the fact of the matter is, it's not just that that's the way they make their living. It's that people want to be a part of what people are doing.
Yes.
We've been so like drowned in the internet and the screen, like, and we've been addicted to it. But now we're coming out of it.
Yes.
We are coming out of, like, yes, I know what the screen's like. I've had my fix. I've overdosed. I know it's there, but it's not enough anymore. I physically need to be somewhere. I need to feel something.
You're smart.
And the stage has come more alive than it ever has before.
I'm glad you said that, because I feel the same exact way. At
It's-
first, it did turn, though. There was an arc, right? At first, like, oh my God, there's too much magic everywhere.
Yeah.
It's magic on the internet. Magic's here. Magic's there. It's too much. It's
Everything
not
was
good.
saturated.
Yeah, but now it's like, wait a minute. When you see it live, holy shit.
It's all, yeah.
Wait, there's no video. There's no CGI going on here.
Yeah.
So now it's even more impressive. So it made a nice turn back to live performing.
Well, also the whole idea of it being saturated, any entertainment industry, especially magic, like, you see so many people, but what it did is it exposed so much of what's out there that the people that are good at it, the people that are passionate and are willing to work to be the best, starting to stand out even more.
Yes.
Like, you can't fuck with those people anymore.
No, they're solid.
People that put their head down and said, I'm going to be the best at what I do.
Yes.
You can't fuck with them anymore.
Right.
The internet can't touch
They
them.
sustained it. I relate it to when the real estate boom, right?
Yeah.
I remember tons of my friends, they all became real estate agents because everybody's making money. Real estate, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they all drop off. And the main guys are still there.
Because they don't treat it like, oh, it's a good time. They
Right.
They do what they do.
It's solid, yeah.
That's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the on stage performance, because I'm a solo act.
Yeah.
I play guitar, acoustic, and I sing. I have my own stage performance one out, but I can't imagine what a magic show prep is like. Just to start, like, how do you? Because when I say I'm putting together a show, I put together a set list. Like, I put together these songs. I'm going to play them in these order because they work this way, and this is what I'm trying to portray. But that's just like I can play songs. Right. But a magic show, how do you determine which tricks go first for a certain reason? Like, how does that all work?
It's pretty close to what you do, really. It's kind of it's choreographing the if you really care about what you're doing.
As you should.
Right. I mean, you can throw some stuff together and just do it. But to me, no repetition is important. We make a set list, same thing like you.
Yeah.
You gotta have a set list, right?
Absolutely.
Unless you're doing the same act for a long time, like I did for years. I traveled. I didn't have a set list. It was all done in music for 7 minutes and a half minutes, 8 minutes nonstop. But when I do a set list now for like corporate shows or private parties, I make a set list. But I like to say, okay, here's my opener. What's my intention? Well, I want to just grab their attention. I want them to watch me. I want them to laugh a little bit.
Okay.
I give them a little bit of insight of who I am. Then I get somebody from the audience because I want to get the people engaged. And then I did it anyway.
It's methodical.
Yeah. So there's a rhythm to it. I have a certain way I like to do all my shows, even my shows that I've produced over the years. A lot of stage shows I produced, production shows. I have a way of doing it. It's an erratic system. I don't want a system that's easy to flow. I don't want the flow to be up and down, up. No, I don't want that. I want it up, down, sideways. Oops, wait, stop, up, down, stop, turn.
Never a dull moment.
Right. The audience otherwise will become that kind of, they feel that rhythm and they'll fall asleep. Got to keep hitting them with new stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, new thoughts, like new information. When I took Groundlings years ago, it was the greatest lessons I ever took. I wish I did it, 50 years ago when I was born. But Groundlings taught you that new information is the only thing that keeps the routine going. When you start repeating information, that's when you start losing the audience.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a lot of information. It could be just a question. It could be a lighting change. It could be a music change. It could be a mood change. It could be you walking down into the audience. It could be going to stage right. It could be going to stage left. You could take your jacket off. So
Literally anything.
Yeah, but just something to
stimulate them.
Yes, just to keep it from being the mundane, like flatliner, I call it. Flatline act. It's just the same. Even if you're good and strong, you can only keep that so long, right? The way you do your music, right?
Well, it's funny. I was going to ask you after, so I always say rule number one, you got to entertain. Once you step on stage, rule number one is you have to entertain, regardless of what's going on. And I was going to ask you, for me, I do that. All right, so I don't want to play a song that's similar to the last one. I want to play, maybe I play a softer song, but then I want to bring a heavier song with maybe some deeper lyrics, and then I have a crazy solo, and I fuck around. Maybe I do a jam. Maybe I say something in between this song. I think about a lot of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I grab the audience. But for the entertainment factor, for you, you're already doing magic. How much more entertaining can you be? But from what you just said, there's all those little things that matter. How are you entertaining the audience outside of your tricks?
Variety, variety. It's like I don't want to do like a bunch of card tricks in a row.
Yeah.
Maybe one I do in the whole act, Then I do a mind reading trick, and then I do a trick with an audience member, a funny trick, and then I do another trick that is like a spoof trick, and then I do another one with a gag with a picture, and then always these things, and I do a trick with a drum, and then I mix it up. It's a variety similar to what you do. It's adding variety because the modern day audiences, it's hard to keep their attention, man.
Short attention span.
Do you know how long it? A friend of mine just looked this up. We talked about it about over a year ago now. There's a research that says the average attention span is 8 seconds.
Holy shit.
I think it's less for the younger kids.
Oh,
because of the stimulation of the video games and the instant gratification.
Yeah.
So it's so important to. I remember doing that, and that's a great lesson I learned when I was doing kid shows. You got kids sitting down. You cannot let them sit for a minute without having some kind of interaction of some kind.
Yeah.
What's your name? What's the magic word? What color is this? This is green. No, it's blue. It's red. Oh, okay, great. Where's that? I lost that. Who wants to come out? Constantly.
What a brutal audience.
Yeah, but hey, great training though.
Hell yeah.
I mean, I did it for many years. I had a great kids show. I even offered it to my son. I said, "Son, you want to make some money?" He's 12, my son. I said, "I could teach you my kids act. You can make like, $75.
You can make some good money here."
But you know what? He's got to want to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But anyway, the whole thing is the rhythm is the key, keeping the audience engaged. That's all it's about, man. It's all it's about. It's harder than ever.
I got a fucking guitar up there. I can just shred a lick and people are like, "Oh, wow, that's cool." I can say something ridiculous into the microphone.
Right.
I'm a musician. I kind of have that freedom if that, if
Right.
you catch my
Right.
drift.
Right.
But like as a, with a magic show, I remember thinking to myself like, I want to bring Tony on. He's a magician. Like, what do I want to talk about? I was like, dude, this guy has the hardest job in the world. Like, I've talked to so many people throughout my life about the onstage experience, about performing,
Yeah.
about what it takes, entertainment,
Right.
dealing with an audience, blah, 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 this and that. And there's, everyone has different stories, but a magician, you're already dealing with an audience that's, their eye is trained to
Yeah.
look for they're looking for you to fuck up.
Right.
They're just waiting for you to make one mistake so they can say, I saw what he did wrong.
Right. I mean, I think that's true.
It's brutal.
Yeah. Here's the point, though. If you put the entertainment ahead of that, that's the key. Be an entertainer first. Have fun with the audience first. And don't take yourself so seriously. Back in the day, I was very serious when I did my act. I traveled around the world doing my bird act, and it was very serious. But now I have more fun with the audience, and I have a little more flexibility. It's okay. Enjoy, have fun.
You get so good at what you do that you can go up there and enjoy yourself.
Here's the secret. If you don't think when you're on stage, thinking cuts you off from the audience.
Oh yeah, you have to be present.
Yeah.
No hesitation.
Thinking is internal, is looking this towards yourself. You should be looking to the audience. So that's why I see these guys, they learn a trick, they do it the next day. It's like, there's no way you're going to connect with the audience because you're worried about what your things are, your technique.
Yeah.
Forget about what you're doing and just put it all out to the audience. That's when you really enjoy it.
And if you're going on stage and you're worrying about all this stuff, like maybe you should be doing a better job at fucking practicing.
Right.
Do your job.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
I mean, every once in a while we'll throw in a new piece. I'm sure you throw a new song here and there.
Oh, absolutely.
It's cool, but mix it in with the rest of the stuff, though.
Yeah, don't make the whole set about your new piece of music.
Right. Yeah, throw
It's
it in
just
like
another
after,
song.
kick-ass piece, and I'll put this new piece in.
It's like I'm up here.
Right,
Like if this
right,
fucks up, I
right.
can still a little bit up here.
Get a little safety net.
Well,
Yeah.
speaking of fucking up, like, if I mess up, I can just I can't tell you how many times I've messed up a song mid-song and no one's noticed because I just turned it into a jam.
That's the key.
I just start fucking around playing some riffs,
Yeah.
do something cool or, I've gotten really good at that, but it's an instrument and people, aren't trained to like know when I'm fucking. They don't know my song.
Right.
But in Magic, that's
Right.
gotta. I mean, how do you when you bomb? Like, what happens when you fuck up?
Well, that's the key, too. Unless it's a blatant, like, drop or broken prop or something, you could get around it because they don't really know what the ending is.
Yeah, you can manipulate it.
But that's, again, with experience. That comes with a lot of experience that, and they're called outs. We call them outs. What is your out if this happens? What is your out if this happens? So you know where to go in case something weird happens,
What's the worst thing that's ever happened to you?
Oh, the worst thing?
I mean, I'm nervous just thinking about if I was a magician and I messed up. Like, what do you...
You know what? I'm not being cocky, but it didn't happen that much. There's some bigger things that happen with like illusion stuff, like a girl thing in the air, and this rig breaks and snaps, and thread breaks, and things swinging, and But you know what? I remember going out, curtains closed behind me, and I just started doing I just went into the next piece after the show, and people were like, "Oh, what happened?" I didn't really notice because you just went through it.
Professionalism.
Yeah, you don't let them know you're sweating. Don't let them see you sweat.
Yeah.
You know, they don't know. Just keep moving.
Oh yeah, I love that. I think that's great.
Keep moving. Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy though.
Yeah.
Like you have to have an out in case something.
Yeah. It's good to have an out. Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't have that. Like, if,
Right.
if something happens, like, I'll just do something on the spot. Like, I can improv and,
Right.
solo, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But
Right.
I admire, because I'm super, I'm kind of a dick when it comes to on-stage performance and live performance. I'm very, very specific. I'm very, cutthroat.
Detailed.
Well, not even detailed, just like no excuses. Like if you like, my whole thing is if you're gonna step on stage in front of an audience, it says that you think what you have is so worthy
Right.
of their attention.
Right.
So you need to be listening to it, watching it just as much as they are.
Uh-huh.
So if you step on, you fucking make that claim when you say you're going on stage.
Right.
You can't be unprofessional.
Right.
Like I've seen so many acts come on with like guys with their guitars and whatever bands go on, and they just play their songs that aren't even that good. The set's not even put together. They're not even good at their instruments, and they have this like kind of smug attitude on stage, like you're here to see them.
Right.
Like, oh, the audience wasn't good. I'm like,
Right.
that should never come out of your mouth. I don't care where you play. I played in shit bars.
Right.
It's never the audience's fault.
Oh, I love you say that.
I
love
fucking
it.
hate when
I
people are like,
know.
oh, it was a bad crowd. What do you mean a bad crowd? You didn't do your job.
Exactly.
God, sorry, this is a very intense
That's
subject for me.
smart. Hey, you know what? I have a chapter in my book about that.
I can't wait. I'm reading this when you
There
leave
is,
tonight.
yeah, but it's like, you know what? The audience have different levels of appreciation. They're never going to be exactly the same level, you know?
They shouldn't be.
No, it's impossible. But just do your job and do your job right. you know?
Absolutely.
And if they give you something back, that's a bonus, you know?
Yeah.
Because you don't adjust your act to the audience. That's stupid, right?
Yeah.
Audience sucks, so I'm going to do less. Like, no, you do your damn act. You know, I've gotten some of the biggest breaks in my career in the shittiest shows you'd ever imagine, the smallest shows. One of my biggest breaks was in a small little tiny shithole show in Vegas, small little theater, and it came from there. So you never know. And you don't care. Anyway, you do it for yourself, your own self-respect.
You love it. You're passionate about it. You
Yeah.
believe in what you're doing. You stand by it.
Exactly.
But the stage, you can stand by it all day. When you step on stage, you're saying something even more, though.
Yeah.
That means that you think it's worthy. Like I said, you listen to it and watch it just as much as everyone else.
If you're solid and you're confident and you're doing it, you could win over a crowd.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You know, I think just don't buckle. They can
Yeah.
smell it. You know, and it's like animals. You know, like they could tell if you're weak.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, tough crowds. Like I did a lot of shows in casinos. A lot of my shows in my early career was all casino shows. So you deal with casino crowds, different crowds. You know, and back in
Wow.
Tahoe days, I had topless shows. You know, we had
Yeah.
the first show, second shows were topless back in the day.
Yeah.
You know, the 10:30 show was topless. So those crowds, if they sense a little weakness,
They're gonna eat you
they
alive.
jump on you like a cat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not always, but there are occasions you need to keep that straight. And,
Well, you definitely. It's definitely you learn a lot. I mean, I've learned the most. I've had the greatest education playing shitty bars in LA.
yo, you got to do it.
I had the greatest education. But the difference was there's been times where I have been eaten up by an audience where I was strong and confident, and they just didn't give a shit.
right.
And when I wasn't strong and confident, and I was kind of felt like I was going inside myself, that was being eaten alive.
Yeah, yeah.
It could have been the same exact crowd.
Yep.
And just because I felt differently about what I was doing, I just fell apart.
Yeah, because you feel like crap about yourself at
Yeah.
the end. That's all that matters at the end. Like
Yeah.
you're going home with yourself. You're not taking the audience with you.
Thank God. Well,
got-
maybe if you take a member or two home, but
well, that happens. But if you say, "Hey, I did my best job tonight," the audience didn't go crazy, but I did my best, and I'm doing what I love to do.
Yeah.
I'm freaking doing my passion,
Yeah.
man.
I'm living my dream.
I'm playing an instrument. I'm performing. What the hell?
One of the best things I ever heard, I was 12 years old. I was in my first band, and I was actually the drummer because the guitar player was 16. He was much better than I was. We were about to walk on stage at this little like teen center thing, and we were playing 2 cover songs, and that was it for the night. And I was really nervous. I was 12 years old. He looked at me. He's like, "Just remember this: when you're on stage, remember that no one out there can do what you can. And if they can, they're not. You are."
Wow.
And that's never left me till this day. Every time
Yeah.
before I walk on stage, I always tell myself, I'm like, if I get nervous or too excited, I was like, no one out there can do what I'm about to do.
Right. That's funny.
And
That's
it's
great. That's
fucking-
great. It's
yeah.
a great thought. Yeah, it keeps you on track. Keeps you on track. Yeah, because your mind gets, especially when you're young. I mean, to know that young, I wish I knew that when I was younger. I was like,
I didn't realize how intense I was going to remember that at the time.
That's great for 12, man.
Yeah,
that's huge. That's great. Well, that's good. That's why you're
a 16-year-old pothead too.
Really? Well, this podcast is what it's for, right?
Absolutely.
You're sharing this information that is like really, if you're serious, it's very invaluable.
Absolutely.
It's like my book. When I wrote my book, I didn't put any tricks in it. And a friend of mine goes, "Oh, that's a mistake. Tricks that don't, books that don't have tricks in it don't sell." I'm like, you know what? There's thousands and thousands of tricks out there. If you're serious and you want to learn really what I've learned over 30 years experience, it's going to be valuable to you. If not, it's not for you.
Well, so that's why like I was excited to have you on here. Like it's about bringing that creative journey, the community to the forefront.
Yeah.
Of life, because of the internet and the online world, it feels like everything's so oversaturated that we have these bedroom musicians, we have these kids with dreams to be magicians, to be actors, to be and the next scientist, a motivational speaker. They have all these things, and they sit at home hiding away and trying to put on an image for social media, and because it's not cool to actually put work in anymore. It's cool to talk about putting work in. It's cool to talk about that stuff.
It's the weirdest
but
thing.
I was like, I need to bring these people together. I wanna have these people in my life, and why not record it and have other people listen to it?
Yeah.
There's people out there talking about what's actually going on, the internal battle. What is that bedroom musician feeling every day when he's in his bedroom?
Right.
That's what we want to conquer. Conquer that person and expose that, instead of taking a cool picture with your fucking new mixing board or whatever,
Yeah.
So
that's interesting, because with magic it's very similar. I remember when I first started learning magic, I liked secret myself. I learned it was fun. Ooh, that
this is
card.
mine.
Yeah. But then you go, oh, if I do it for other people, oh my God, look at their reaction. But you got to get, like you said, you got to put it out there.
Yeah.
So then that becomes addictive. And I remember as a kid, after a while, my mom, God bless her soul, God bless her soul, she would, how many cards she picked for me, hundreds of thousands of cards. Here, Mom, pick a card.
Yeah.
So after a while, I need an audience. My cousins, they got tired of watching me. My neighbors, they got tired of watching me. I do shows in my front porch. 10 cents a ticket, do a magic show on my front porch and sell lemonade.
Little hustler, I love it.
Yeah, but then I ran out of places to perform, because as a kid, where are you to perform?
Yeah. I
hitchhiked down my downtown area in Stamford, Connecticut. This older kid, kind of a crazy kid. Nice guy though, he was good. John, I forget his last name, but we went downtown in front of the library, and I got a picture of it. I did street magic before that even existed.
No shit.
The photographer was downtown from the Stamford Advocate. I'm a little kid. I probably was 12 years old, 11. I have a little table. I have a little hat for tips, and I'm doing my simple tricks for people just walking by, because I needed an audience.
Dude.
I was dying for an audience, dude. I was dying.
That is so valuable. See, that right there, that story right there is so valuable. It doesn't matter what era you live in, what the world has changed. It's still the same feeling. That passion is still physical.
Conquer your backyard first. That's what I say.
Conquer
your backyard first.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
God, I'm going to listen back to this and just be like, all right, I need motivation today. I'm going to go listen to Tony's episode.
Well, it's, I always say I'm not smarter than anybody else. I've just done it for so long, man. I've been doing it.
You also care.
40 years. Yeah, I love it. I mean, magic saved my life. I mean, to me, magic is, I love it for that many, many, many levels,
Yeah.
It's kind of, I look back on, how the hell did I survive all these years? It's pretty cool,
Well, see, I think you're a very inspiring person, and someone to look up to, because, there's a million different ways to do what you're passionate about. You have to choose one, or find what works for you. And from the stories I've heard tonight, you're very clearly someone that sees that it doesn't matter where you are. I want to do what I want to do. And I was looking at some of the stuff you've done. You sent me some links to look at. I read your little bio. I could not fucking believe it. You have worked with everybody. You've produced TV shows, full production, on stage shows. I was like sitting here like, who the fuck, I know Tony is a guy that wears gray sweatsuit and a towel around his neck and asks me to crack his back every morning. Who the fuck is this? I was just blown away. And the main thing I really got from it, before we dive into the details, because I really want to talk about a lot of that stuff.
Okay.
I got some fucking questions.
That's funny.
But what I loved is that you're like a living representation. It's like, if you love something, you got to do it.
Yeah.
But you also have to understand there's a million different ways to do it.
Yes.
And you can't just be so fixated. This is how it has to happen. Because then you just get stuck. Like, you're obviously the guy that said, I care about what I'm doing so much. I don't care who's watching. I don't care what it's for. I want to do it.
100%.
And that is so fucking crucial. So important. And I remember I was reading all this stuff. I was like, oh, that's the only way you could accomplish all this.
Yeah.
Just not fixated on what you're supposed to be.
Right. And don't compare yourself to other people.
Fuck that.
You know, you don't compare yourself. It's like, well, we're different people. You know, it's like Chris Angel is great. You know, he's fun, amazing success. He's different. He's doing it his way. I'm doing it my way. And, you know, you just do it your way.
I noticed you worked with him on one of his show, right? His TV show?
Yeah, I helped him a little bit. And we just worked on his pilot together, actually.
Yeah, I want to talk about the new pilot in a minute here.
Yeah.
I'm really curious because you said it like multiple times. Like, I have no idea what this is about. What is he doing?
Yeah, it's cool.
And especially after reading all this stuff, I'm like, all right, what the fuck is Tony doing right now?
Yeah, I didn't talk about it much, but I could mention a little bit about it. But yeah, it's cool. But it's just really doing it your way.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the greatest artists. Look at the greatest artists. They were always like, you know, look at Prince and even your world. You know, it was always kind of, well, this guy's never gonna. It's weird. He's never gonna make. He's doing it his own way. He can't even read music. The guy can't read music. He'll never make it. You know, the guy never make it. But you do it your own way.
Yeah.
And do it because there's nothing else you can do.
That's all you have.
Yeah. What's the alternative?
Not. What kind of life is that?
But look at in your world too. Though my world, I teach, I consult, I build, and I create magic for people. I direct, I perform, I lecture. So there's a lot of stuff within your world that you could still do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And keep your hands in it, and it's good to learn anyway. I love teaching because you know how it is. You learn when you teach.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. My first episode of the podcast, I brought on my guitar teacher, and there was a lot of, I called it the music student. We talked about the idea of being a student of music, just a student of anything.
Yeah.
The teaching is such a huge factor of it. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm amazed, and I'm really inspired too, because it's so easy to believe like, oh, I'm a songwriter, so that means I have to release songs and somehow make it that way. It's like, that is not the only route.
No.
Oh, I'm a guitar player, so I need to find a band to be a lead guitar player. That is not the only route.
Are you saying that because other people are doing it? That's the question.
And like, how much have you actually explored yourself? How much have you tried yourself?
Right.
It's like, and that requires you being a little vulnerable. Go out and say, this is what I've got, and get ready to get punched in the throat.
Right. Right. And that's okay, because I get back up and I've still got it.
You're still the one doing it.
I'm still doing it.
Either you doing it or no one else is.
That's right.
So a TV show, you've done a number of them.
Yeah, I performed on a bunch of shows, and I guest starred on shows. I was on Bachelorette, a funny one. I was on Cedric the Entertainer's show, The Soul Man, and I had lines with him. It was fun, cool.
Oh, man.
Opposite him. And on Masters of Illusion, I was on World's Most Dangerous Magic years ago on NBC. And I was on World Magic Awards. What else? Probably a couple I'm missing here and there. But, yeah, I just...
there's a long list of stuff.
Yeah.
So going into a show, like, a lot of the shows are based on magic themselves.
Most of them are magic, yeah.
Yeah, so it wasn't, you did some guest stars where, like, I'm the magician, I came on and did my job. Like, sure, there's a director, a producer, but you had a huge role to play. Like, how do you go about making a magic show? Like, was it your idea to start something, or was it your vision, or did someone bring you in and say, hey, Tony, you're the master at this, we need you to make a show about magic? Because it's one thing on stage, I'm sitting down, I paid for a ticket, I'm watching the show.
Right.
But if I'm, scrolling and I put on a show about magic, what's the difference? Like, there's got to be a different factor
for
there.
TV, you mean?
For TV, yeah.
Well, what I just did, and like I did a lot of TV shows. Like if there's magic in the episode, for instance, like Monk, that was a huge episode of magic. Steve Valentine, my buddy, was in it. He starred in it, guest starred in it. So there's tons of magic in it. So they seek you out and they show you the script, and you go okay, and you start talking about the magic, and you have to make their vision come to reality,
Yeah.
And get the tricks, figure them out. Like the show I just worked on, it was 3 weeks of preparation and 7 days of shooting, and teaching the actors magic and creating original magic for the episode. And
so it wasn't necessarily a magic show, it was just a show that needed magic in it?
Yeah, most of the time, yes. This one for NBC, it's called Like Magic, and it's there are magician characters in it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's comedy. It's a scripted comedy.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah, it's good. I hope it works. I mean, great people, amazing experience. I mean, to sit in a room with 50 people and they're listening to what I'm saying is kind of scary, because I was a magic consultant.
Yeah.
But it was exhilarating because these were the best people in their field, man.
Oh man.
I mean, NBC Universal, we got the best DP, Julianne Robinson, great director, award-winning director. We got these costumers. We got
Just
pyro.
heavy hitters.
Yeah, I'm working with these guys, and we're all at the same, like, this high level, and it raises you up even higher.
Yeah.
I was like, I lost 4 pounds just working on a damn show. With all craft services and stuff around. You know, I thought,
Yeah.
oh, man, I'm gonna gain weight. I lost 4 pounds because I was so pumped, working nonstop, exhilarating with these top people. It was great. You know,
What a fucking experience.
the actors are awesome. You know, say, French Stewart from Third Rock, Under the Sun. You know that show. He's there. He's a classic. You know, he's an amazing actor, comedy actor, and all these other actors were just top notch, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you're NBC. We're at NBC
that's the-
Studios.
That's the big one.
The camera guys are awesome. I mean, it's like, oh my god, it was like in heaven, dude. It was an unbelievable experience. Yeah, it was really very good.
That's wild to me.
Yeah.
Do you I mean, so I guess what I'm getting at is that's such a different experience as a magician. Like you're so used to being on stage
Totally
with
different,
an
yeah.
audience. Like, so when you step on stage, you're passionate about what you're doing. It's a creative, outlet. You're really diving into getting the audience's
Right.
attention. But then you're brought on as basically a consultant. Like, I
Right.
need to teach the actors the tricks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is there a different feeling you get?
Yes, there is. It's a different mind altogether. And thankfully,
Okay.
all my life, I built my stuff myself, and that's why I have a product line. I sell products. So my mind is in that. I'm able to create.
Yeah.
That's a different mindset, different part of your brain.
Okay.
And teaching, I like to teach, but the key is to find stuff that fits right, and it's not going to be so hard to learn. So you got to balance it.
Wow.
And stay in their vision. Try to keep their vision. Like they had this one trick with a monkey coming out of this chalice, this goblet, and we wrote that, but if you want to change it, you can change it. Like, you know what? I'm gonna take that challenge.
Let's figure that out.
Yeah. So I started working on it, and freaking, I figured it out.
Jesus.
And it came out pretty good. It looked pretty damn good. And it was the oddest thing in the world. I looked at the script going, freaking monkey coming out of this freaking thing. So,
And you made that happen.
yeah.
So I read the Taylor Swift thing.
Yeah.
So
Taylor Swift. That
I
was cool.
don't even know what that is, but I remember I saw Taylor Swift. I saw a rose burning in the hand.
Yeah, she did it for the AMA Awards 2
So
years
was that
ago.
a similar situation where like they came to you and said, "Hey, we want a rose to burn in her hand while she's performing or something"?
Yeah,
or?
they came. A friend of mine was actually involved directly, but they call me when they got to a point to go, "Oh shoot, we need to figure this out."
Yeah.
I mean, I physically make some of the stuff. That's the cool stuff too. I'm
yeah.
able to make these props in my little shop. So I test all this stuff. I just did something for this play Carrie just last week in downtown LA because their guy dropped out and they had to make this Jesus thing float and a book open, but I'm able to get and do it, So for that, I was like, oh shit, they need a rose and a hand burning. I got that figured out. They have stuff for that,
Yeah.
a gimmick. So I said, So the rose, I said, okay, I think I could do that. So I worked on it, and I built it, and I made it work. And she did it on TV.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
That
she was
must
cool.
feel good.
She was cool.
You got to meet her and
Yeah, she's a hard worker, man.
oh,
She
I mean
did
at
not-
that level you have
yeah,
to be.
Yeah, you can see
There's-
this. Oh my God, you
I
see
don't
that
care
kind of
what-
person?
I don't care what people say about like, oh, Taylor Swift did this or Justin Bieber did that or this person. I was like, you know what? That is the hardest fucking job there is.
When you see her work, you go, that's why she does what she does.
Yeah.
She didn't fucking hesitate. She took that gimmick in her hand, the fire. She was like, bang, no fear, bang.
I do it.
She
Wow.
did it. She just did it, man.
That's incredible.
Yeah, she had balls. I mean, she
does have balls.
looks
yeah.
all innocent, but she's strong in the way she controlled everything. And she was very sweet,
Yeah.
very nice to all her people. But when she walked in a room, bang.
It was work time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I love that.
She's incredible.
Oh my goodness, I love
yeah,
that.
it's the presence she had, the respect.
Oh my goodness,
And I didn't know anything about her. I didn't follow her. I knew her, but I didn't go, oh man,
That makes her
she's
even more
cool.
attractive.
She's cool. Yeah.
discipline, work ethic, caring about what you do, like having that professionalism. That's
Yep.
just like the sexiest
It's not
thing
an
ever.
it's not an accident, guys. It's not an accident.
It's not.
It's work. Passion is physical. Yeah.
So, I think maybe you answer this because you make your own props, but if you were, from your personal opinion, not from the professional opinion, from your personal opinion,
Yes.
why do you think you're the one that's been chosen over other magicians for all the gigs that you've gotten?
Wow. I think there's a little luck involved. There's timing involved. But I think you have to be solid, so when those opportunities come, that you don't lose them. Like I know for a fact, this NBC gig that I even knew the director. I worked with her a year and a half ago for another project that had a little bit of magic in it. So she called me in. But I know for a fact there was 4 or 5 other people that went in to get interviewed. I knew for a fact.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting home going, okay, I gotta go meet Julie again. I know her. I'm not gonna just go in at first. I just go in and ask questions and feel them out. Then I started hearing more people know about this gig. I'm like, oh man, I gotta pump this up. So I went through the entire script, and I notated every magic thing in there. I made a mini model of an illusion that was in the script, and it worked.
Holy shit.
Of a little model, scale model
Wow.
of a girl vanishing. And I made this one thing, this coin floating, that the other people said it's got to be done with CGI, and I did it, and I put it on video for them, and I had notations on all the magic. I said, I gotta do this. This is big time. I went in, and it was a great meeting, obviously, and I blew them away. They even cut me off saying, I think that was great. We got enough.
Yeah.
It's
all we need.
Yeah, we're good. I said, okay, I'm ready to, let me know. And they said, it takes a little while. This corporate stuff takes a while. We'll get a hold of you in a day or two. Within 30 minutes, they called me, asked me if I was interested. I said, yeah, of course.
So I guess what I'm hearing is that you're willing to go way far beyond what is required.
Yes.
Work-wise.
Yes, you have to. If you love it. But to me, it was like...
it wasn't work for you. It was like, this is an exciting challenge for what I love.
Yeah. It's like, I feel like all the years of experience now, I'm able to do that. And I feel confident. Not cocky, I'm very confident. And I'm open to, if they don't like something, I don't own it. I'm like, okay, no problem, we'll change it. TV changes rapidly.
Well, see, that's the big thing. That's what I was talking about earlier. Like, you've set this up where it's like you're not so attached to anything. Yeah. It's like, I love what I do. I take pride in what I do. I stand by what I do.
Yes.
But what are we trying to get to? Like, there's something bigger than just me.
100%.
It's like collaborating with two musicians writing a song. Like, it's not about you. Like, oh, I wrote this lyric and it means everything to me. We can't rephrase it.
100%.
It's like, no, it's about the song. It's about making something bigger than yourself.
Yes.
And you come in like, say, I'm the best at what I do. I'm here to make what you have even better because together we can.
Right.
And that's such an important attitude.
It is. You have to let that ego down because that script changed quite a bit.
Yeah.
There's some stuff that I worked on and hand sewn stuff and built.
Jesus.
And they changed it.
Craftsman.
You just put it away. They don't want it. That's it. It's okay. It's for the product.
Yeah.
I even said to her, I said, I'm not attached to anything. My goal is to make this the best it can be.
Wow.
Whatever that takes. I was in 110%. They gave me an office. I had my own little office. I was there all day for hours and hours, 14 hours a day, 16 hours a day.
Jesus.
But I feel good. I feel like I did the best I could possibly have done, physically and mentally.
That's all that matters.
It's exhilarating, yeah. So exhilarating.
So this is probably a really cliche question or maybe too general of a question, but you obviously love every aspect of this journey of doing what you love.
Yeah.
In and out. Is there a favorite part of it? Is there something about like when you think about magic, like there's a number one thing, like this is why magic, this is why it's so great, this is why I love it?
Yeah, I love seeing still the faces.
The faces.
Yeah. I love seeing the reactions and hearing the reactions. Can't beat that.
Yeah.
No matter what. You see those faces light up like, what the hell?
I'm gonna tell the story of the Magic Castle real quick because you invited me and I was like, oh my god, the Magic Castle. You made me feel like a fucking celebrity that night.
Well, you deserve it, buddy. You deserve it.
You talked about like the response. I remember watching the show like, holy shit, this is like, I've never seen anything like this. I've never actually paid attention. Like, what is happening in front of me?
Right.
I expected like, oh, Magic Castle. You come in, see a few tricks. It's like a fancy place, and I'm like, whoa, this is like really the Magic Castle. Mm-hmm. But I remember walking up to the palace, the main room, and everyone was already sitting down, like everyone. I was like, oh shit, we're late. And I had this like super hot date with me.
Yeah.
And the guy at the door, he's like, are you here for the show? I'm like, yeah, I'm Haig. He's like, oh, you're Haig? And he like walked me in front of all these people and sat me down. And there was 2 chairs with my name on there.
Yeah.
And right to my left was Dick Van Dyke.
Yes, that's right. You were there that night.
Yeah.
Oh, Dick Van Dyke.
He was sitting. Dick Van Dyke was sitting right next to me. But you freaking walk off the stage. You're getting a ring from the audience for your trick.
Yeah.
You walk off the stage and everyone's expecting you to walk over and look at Dick Van Dyke. But instead you put your hand on my shoulder and you say, how's it going? In the mic. And everyone looked at me at that point like, who the fuck is this kid?
Yeah. That was great.
Oh, that was one of the greatest moments of my life. Yeah, it made my day.
Cool. Well, I love it, man. It's like, in the old days, I probably wouldn't do that because I was so consumed with myself. But now, like, I look at the audience, and go, oh, cool. It's so good to see
you were
out
so
there.
Great though because you brought on other magicians with you, and I remember I'm paying attention. I'm a musician. I'm a performer myself. Right. I pay attention to a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I remember like saying like, wow, Tony really has it honed in. Like, guy is an entertainer. Like you walked off the stage, the way you acted, the way you treated people, and like the tricks were amazing. The magic was amazing, but the people were responding to you.
Yes, that's the
And
key.
it was so powerful to watch. It was really an incredible
Oh, cool.
experience.
Thanks, bud.
I loved that. I tell everyone that story.
I'm gonna invite you to every single show of my life from now on.
I'm there, dude. I am there. I love live
Yeah,
performance.
yeah.
I don't care what it is.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love live performance.
Yeah. Well, you understand. That's why you see the work beyond the work. You know, it looks easy up there, but you go, you
no.
see the work that's not. I call it the invisible work that nobody sees.
Oh yeah.
You know, that's the oxymoron with magic. It looks so easy, but it took me 1,000 hours to perfect.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I have to educate like these directors for TV a lot. It's like, you know,
Understand this. It doesn't just happen because I said make it happen.
It takes
you know?
a while, and then when you know the secret, Santa Claus doesn't exist anymore.
Well, I like I like the invisible work statement.
Yeah.
Because it's not just prepping one trick or prepping one set list. It's your entire life
Yeah.
of studying and working and
Yeah.
practicing and all, everything that goes into it. As a musician, there's upkeep. Like for me, I didn't play sports growing up.
Right.
Because I couldn't play football. I wanted to play sports, but I couldn't risk hurting my fingers.
Sure.
And everyone said, "Oh, you're being a little bitch," blah blah blah. And I was
Right.
like, "Well, I can still outlift all of you, so whatever."
Right,
That's
right.
besides the point.
See, but yeah,
But like, there's an
yeah.
upkeep, and
Yeah.
even
Oh,
till
yeah.
this day, I don't snowboard, I don't skate, I don't do
Right.
all this stuff because like this is what I do. I can't do that stuff.
Right.
And I've talked to many musicians. They get arthritis in their hand. There's so many things happen.
Sure.
And then there's cats that have been doing it every single day for their whole life and still healthy, and they have routines. They have upkeep. It's like not only did I practice and master what I did, like I respected what I did.
Yeah.
And so it's pretty obvious with a guitar player, like your shoulders, your hands, things like that. But for a magician, that's a physical experience. It's a whole
Right.
body, everything. Like what kind of upkeep do you have? Have you had to do, and what's come into play as you've gotten older?
Well,
Not that you're old.
Well, no, it's okay. I'm up there. But there is a physical element to it, like card manipulation, sleight of hand with cards.
Yeah.
You have to keep your fingers. There's muscles involved.
Oh yeah.
So there's exercises I do. Actually, I put one on Instagram a few weeks ago, and I take cards and I vanish them one at a time, and I go up to 30 cards. I could vanish 30 cards in my hands. I could hold 30 cards in my hand without seeing them.
Jesus.
But it's an exercise that I do to keep my fingers strong.
how the fuck do you? I gotta
Well,
look
it's
at
just,
that video.
yeah, just from years. Yeah, it's on there. But I just do 1, 2. I thought I was gonna do 20. I said I usually do 20, 20. I did 30.
I've been loving your videos.
cameras
by
on,
the way.
cameras on there. You know,
Step
you
it
do-
up a little.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, pressure. But there is physical things to do. Palming coins, holding coins in your hands. You got to keep them in your hands. It's like
gotta be
guitar.
fluid.
Yeah. It's like an instrument. They're instruments. You have to keep the instruments in your fingers.
Yeah.
You got to feel. It's all the feel. It's the touch. I don't want to think. I want to feel it.
So are there things that because you and I lift weights. Like
Yeah.
you lift weights, you lift freaking heavy. You lift like a serious monster.
I used to not anymore.
I haven't seen you in a few months doing it, but
I've
I
been
mean,
busy, but
I remember after seeing your magic and like realizing how this is what you do like as a profession.
Right.
I remember thinking to myself like, man, that guy's got to be careful in the
Yeah,
gym. So
you
like,
have to.
what are some of the things that you have to stay away from?
Oh, I stopped squatting. Heavy squats. The back. My
Yeah.
back is not great because I used to squat so heavy. I squatted 650 back in my day. And,
Jesus.
And my deadlift is like 650, and so I don't do that heavy anymore. But I think the mind-body connection is really important. When you're training, it really connects the mind, the body together. I like that part. It really connects you with the machine.
Oh, absolutely. It's
not
like
a-
you can do a movement
Yes.
for an hour, but if you're not thinking about the muscle that needs to be worked, it can
Right.
never be worked out.
Right. And in magic, it's so important or anything you do, any physical passion or
There has to
any-
be intention.
Yeah, your body has to be. You're the instrument, and also, you know what, dude? If you have to rehearse and you're tired and lazy and sluggish, you ain't gonna rehearse.
Yeah.
Keep your body in shape. If you're physically conditioned, you could rehearse more than the next guy and be better.
Yeah, exactly.
You're gonna get better because you can improve.
Oh my
better.
God, I love you, Tony. This is amazing.
Yeah.
I'm always like, I play shows all the time, all these band guys, these musicians. I don't look the part at all.
Right.
I look like a fucking bodybuilder or a fitness guy. I don't look the part of
Are you the
musician at all.
bouncer? You look like the bouncer.
And I go on stage and I freaking shred and I'm sweating and people always ask me like, I don't know how your hands don't fucking like cramp up or like,
Right.
then how are you doing it that fast? I'm like, are you kidding?
Yeah.
I train every fucking day of my life, not like my body, and then I practice guitar. Like,
Yeah.
of course, it's common sense. I'm so happy you said that. I'm
You're like
so
a
happy you said that.
NASCAR, right? The NASCAR has to be at the optimum conditioning to do 500 laps.
Yeah.
If it was not in good condition,
You're not
it'll
gonna
never
make
make it. You're the vehicle.
Well, go ask like lead singers how much cardio and stuff they have, like how much they have to do.
Oh yeah.
It's insane.
But you know what also is the hidden secret of all that? There's the mental aspect.
Oh yeah.
Because it's a stress release, and you feel good with your body, so it's a positive energy. That positive energy then it rolls into what you're doing, and that shows up, and it makes your practices better. It makes your performances better. You're healthier. You don't get as cranky. It's all connected. The physical body is all connected to
because once again, like you said, passion is so physical. Like once you put that positive, like getting a pump or whatever it is you do for your physical body, whoever's listening, like whatever you do, once you have that positive,
could be yoga too.
Yeah, like anything physical that you experience a positive, feeling with.
Yes.
When you go to do your passion, when you go to do something you care about, and you get that physical feeling, it's going to come with a positivity.
100%.
You train your like you said, mind and body to just physically be positive.
Yes.
And like once you start, if you feel yourself getting lazy or sluggish,
Yeah.
you start to beat yourself up. You start to feel like, I don't like this. I don't want to be like this. It's because it's almost like you're addicted to doing things for yourself, being physical, being real, being as dedicated as possible. Like I'm gonna practice that extra hour.
Right.
I'm gonna give it that extra week of training. All
Right.
that stuff.
Right.
It's beautiful. I'm so happy you said that.
Yeah, the quality goes up overall because then you get better quality practice, you get more time, and your attitude is better. It's just a positive roll, a snowball effect of positivity. And the opposite is true if you're tired and you're cranky and I don't want to. That's what happens to a lot of bands. Back in the day, my buddies had bands back east, and they're lazy. One guy doesn't want to practice. You know how it is. It's just, dude, do it, man. Do it the best you can.
I had a band on. Their name is Mr. Call. I had a band on for one of the episodes, and we kind of talked about that. Their work ethic is so fucking on point. Like they write great music, but there's no way they'd be where they're at if they didn't have that kind of ethic. Like when we practice, we fucking practice. When we get on stage, we give it our all. And they all put that fucking work in.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how much of a difference that makes.
Oh,
because you could have the best product in the world, but if you can't deliver it,
No.
it means nothing.
No, yeah. It has to be alive. It's got to be a live product.
Yeah.
We're not selling ceramics,
Yeah.
We're selling physical energy.
And you're fucking doing illusions in the midst of it.
Right.
So I mean, like your hands, like that's your hands have to be quick. Your hands have to be fluid. Have you ever like hurt your hand?
I did.
mean,
Years
how'd you
ago,
deal
I
with
almost cut
that?
my finger off, and still have a bad scar here. I was working on a prop, and this grinder, which is the worst cut you can get, a grinder.
Oh God!
It flipped out of my hand, and it came down. Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah, I got a bunch of but I still performed. Modified my performance. Yeah.
Did you ever have like muscle issues from like lifting or anything like that?
My hands are not like totally like loose, but I have to warm them up a little bit. Yeah, from the deadlifting, I would never do it again if I knew better. But
yeah,
I stopped. Thank God.
I stopped deadlifting a while ago because of my left hand.
Yeah, it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Well, I started actually because like the left hand is one I use for all like the intricate playing, and all these tiny muscles are developing, all the forearm muscles are developing, and then I would go in the gym and I'd pull and like with my raw hand, so much weight, I was actually getting shooting pains in the top of my hand.
You don't need that.
I couldn't even make a fist.
Oh no.
So I just said, "Fuck it, I'm done with deadlifts."
No, you don't need it.
It's
it's not necessary. It's not necessary.
Well, it's crazy because you don't think about it. You don't think about how much because like certain things, like if you're holding a hammer is different. You need like your grip strength and that's it and aim.
Sure.
But like intricate things like magic or playing the guitar, piano, instrument, things like it's wild. You never think.
You have to be very dexterous, very mobile, very fluent with your hands.
Yeah,
that's why I like yoga now. I do yoga every day.
I need to join a yoga studio.
Yeah,
I need that.
I just do it at home. I learn. I study with a private place, and it's very old style, very to myself. And I need it for my hips. It's good for my hips. Opens up my hips, but it's a nice way to get the mind down and slow down, and the clarity comes.
Yeah.
And I've been more creative probably in the last year than I've ever been in my life. I just finished writing a script for a movie. I just finished it.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you think it's from the?
It's just being open. It's just the positive mind opening up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, this is freaking gold.
Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah, I mean, it's it sounds cliche, but it's if you do it, it's fine. It's just enjoy it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, just get rid of everybody else. Get rid of the competition. You're only competing with yourself. You can only be as good as you can be. You can only. It doesn't matter what this guy's doing, because if you're not good, it doesn't matter. Don't get pissed at him because he's successful. Be happy he's successful. I always remember seeing guys going, "Oh my God, he's successful. That means I can do it."
Yeah.
It's showing possibilities.
Yeah.
So just keep positive and just keep pushing ahead. That's all.
One of my favorite quotes in the entire world. I'm a huge Ralph Waldo Emerson fan. I
great.
love Emerson.
Yeah.
His book is like my Bible.
Yeah.
In one of his essays, he makes a quote. It says, "Envy is ignorance, imitation is suicide."
Ooh.
And I always loved it because it's like, you think about, that person is successful, like that envy. You're being ignorant to the fact that you're capable of it.
Right.
Imitation is suicide. To see someone succeed and do exactly what they did,
my God.
you give up your free will as an artist, as creative.
That's
You
totally opposite.
I mean, it's one of the most important things I ever
Wow.
read. And it's so true, because it's like, anytime you think like, oh man, like I'm jealous or I'm envious, it's like, well, you're just ignorant to the fact that you're probably capable of doing it. You're just not going to.
Right.
Like, you need to put that work
Right.
in. Like getting rid of that competition, and and on that point of getting rid of competition and like you being the best you can, after all these years in a career that's obviously very skill based, how do you get better still? Like, how are you getting better? Are you learning from someone, or are you pushing yourself to certain limits? Like, what is your technique that doesn't put you into competition with other people?
Right. It depends. Like, for now, when I was always performing, I was always working on my act, always rehearsing it, always working on technique, always refining. Now I'm creating for other people, which is cool because I'm always have new challenges. I kind of like that stimulation of new challenges coming up and getting them to work.
You put yourself in the position to have to be better.
Yeah. You people are expecting, hiring you, paying you money and, good money to come up with stuff. You better deliver. But I'm not so afraid of that.
Yeah. It's exciting.
Yeah.
What was it? It's when you're nervous, your brain fires the same neurons as when you're excited.
Right.
It's the exact same experience for your brain.
Yeah. Definitely. That's right.
A crazy thing to think about.
And Tony Robbins had a thing called necessity is the mother of invention.
Oh yeah. Heard that one.
So what you do is you go realize what the necessity is, and then you invent for it.
Yeah.
And what you can achieve, what you can conceive, you can achieve. That's Napoleon Hill too. So a lot of great quotes. And hey, look out there. I would say to all the listeners, counterbalance. There's negativity in the world. It's going to be that way no matter what. There's naysayers in your life. Sometimes they're close to you. They could be relatives. It could be family, closely related.
Amen.
That's the way it is. That's the way it is. Don't worry about it. But counterbalance that with positive information. Read Think and Grow Rich. Read Dale Carnegie books. Read Emerson books. Read quotes. Read Zig Ziglar. I love Zig Ziglar, right?
Create practices, yoga, meditation, things like that.
So counterbalance that to offset it. Because that's why I haven't watched the news in 7 years. I got rid of TV. I watch just my programs I pick. Hulu or Netflix. I'd never watched the news in 7 years. This guy today, someone telling me about a story. I said, I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's politics. I could care less.
Yeah.
It's a negative.
What is that doing for me now?
Yeah, it's nothing. Yeah, it's nothing to do.
And people always have something to say. They're always like, oh, but you need to pay attention. This is the world you live in. These are problems going on. It's like
not the world you live in. It's the world you create.
It's like I get it. I live on the same planet as you, and I'm not denying that anyone else is struggling, and I'm not. Right. But I get to wake up and make my choices, so I'm gonna do that.
Definitely.
And there's no one should ever feel guilty for waking up and making their choices.
Make the choices. Be a good person. Leave the place a little better than you left it. That's all I say.
Oh yeah.
Simple as that. Very simple.
Leave the place a little better than you left. I like that one a lot.
Yeah.
I'm really happy that you're out there, Tony. I'm very happy that someone out. I'm honored to have someone like you on the podcast. I think you're really brought a lot of what I want this to be.
Okay.
But more importantly, I'm happy that someone like you is out there.
Thanks, buddy. But you attracted it, see? Same thing, right?
Yeah.
I knew you. Remember I said something about, yes, dude, there's something going on with you. Because you're a little more, remember I said this to you, that you are more perceptive than most people around. You have, I didn't know anything about you. I said, you're not big, and I admire you because you're in good shape. I appreciate that. Because, again, I can see the work that goes in it.
Absolutely.
I'm like, oh, shit, this dude, you can't say you're working out. Yeah, you see it, right? It's a very honest place, the gym. But then when I met you, and I started going, just something going on. Just something. It's like, oh, you're an artist. Ah, okay, that makes sense. Oh, I do this. Okay, so it's being aware of your surroundings and your background and your way you were raised and your family, your stories about oh, okay, it all makes sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen accidentally. You're conscious of what you're doing.
Well, I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, so that's why otherwise I wouldn't be sitting here.
Yeah, I mean,
attract like attracts. If you were like a gangbanger, we'd be doing gangbanging podcasts or something. I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, I appreciate that. That's
Yeah.
very kind. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you being on here. Before we wrap this all up, I'm curious. If I was a magician, I started yesterday. I told myself I'm going to be a magician,
Yes.
and I came to Tony Clark and I said, "What do I need to know? What is the most important thing, or what is the 3 most important things that I need to know
For magic.
for being a successful magician?"
Okay. So you want to do this as a profession?
Yeah, I want to be a magician.
Oh, you
I
want
want
to
to be paid to be a magician.
Whoa. Okay. First thing I would say is it the only thing that you would want to do? First of all, that's the thing I want to know. Is that the first foremost thing that you would want to do? And if you say yes, then I know you're on track. Then I would say, I would start knowing you're a musician. I always do this with my students. I don't teach that much privately, but I always find out what they already have, and I use that as a base.
Interesting.
And actually, it created a cool trick that I use in my act now for a musician that came to me years ago. He's a drummer. And I said, let's start with what you know. What do you drum? Bring the drum in. What do you do with it? I don't know. But start with what you have, because we all have something unique. Use that as the base.
Interesting.
Now you're building on the uniqueness of that, as opposed to trying to be like David Copperfield or David Blaine or Chris Angel. So start with your uniqueness, which we all have, and then we'll build on that. That's what I would say if you want to be more successful.
Wow.
So do that, yeah. And I wish I knew that myself growing up.
Damn, that was good stuff.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So that's the way it goes, That's what happens when you're old, dude.
Is it the most, it's what you want. Is it what you want? Is it the foremost thing that you want?
Yeah.
And then
Is there's nothing else you could think of doing? You have to do it. Why do you do it?
no other way.
Because I have to do it. Yeah. What
And
am I
then-
going to do? What else am I going to do?
and then after they say yes to that, you say, okay, well, what's unique about you?
Yeah. Let's find out what you have that's unique. Nothing to do with magic. I don't care. Magic is the tool. Okay? Look at it's like music, right? How many different rock bands are there?
Yeah.
There's a lot of rock bands, but they all have their unique style, their unique brand, their unique intention. Singers, oh yeah, they all sing similar songs. How different are they, really? They're all the same. They're notes.
Yeah.
It's music.
But how they express it.
It's totally different.
Oh, man.
If you could do that with magic, it's going to set you apart.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
That's,
But the first thing is you have to love it, because then that will make you get through all the hard points.
you have to know that there's nothing else you can do.
Right.
I mean, you could,
Yeah.
but you're not going to.
Yeah.
This is what you want.
Dude, when I started living in that studio apartment, I started serving food. Nobody knew this. My neighbor was an actor. He was a starving actor, too. And I'm getting down, I have $500 in my account. I'm like, oh, dude, I'm getting running out of money. I don't want to ask for money at home. I'm in a studio apartment in Hollywood by myself. He goes, dude, come with me. We're serving food to Drexel Burnham and Lampart Building, the stock traders. Michael Milken, he was the guy that got arrested for insider trading in Beverly Hills. We come, we go there in the morning, we serve their food, and we're done by 1 o'clock. And you get to take food home. So I said, fuck, that's it. That kept me going for another 8 months.
Damn.
That kept me alive. I got a little bit of money. I got home. You're not supposed to take food, but it says take Tupperware with you, and you can take food with you. There's always leftovers. They have good food in there.
Holy shit.
So that kept me going, man. I had $500, but that kept me going. I said, there's no way I can't give.
Was it a paying gig?
Yeah, you get paid. It was like $10 an hour back then or whatever.
Yeah.
So you work 4 hours, make $40 a day times
But
5.
you're not paying for food.
Right, and it's kind of hidden. Nobody sees during the day. So I'd leave and I'd take my clothes. I wouldn't let anybody see my apron. I'd hide it. Nobody
Wow.
knew. Nobody. I don't think I may have written in the book. I can't remember if I even wrote in the book, but I don't want anybody to know. I was a magician.
Yeah.
I'm the award-winning magician. But I served food for these people secretly.
Wow. So you were using your magic to sneak food then?
Yeah, man.
Dude, that's so fucking cool.
But that is
so cool.
But that's part of the deal of like do what you need to do, respectively. Obviously, you don't want to hurt anybody or do something stupid.
Absolutely.
Do what you need to do to survive in the business. And I'm glad I did it when I was younger, because now I'm like, oh, I'm older. Would I do it? I don't know if I would do it the way I did live like that, that little studio apartment, But it's
A little bit of grit,
Yeah, man. It was, dude, it was like my hairdresser's goes, your hair's starting to fall out. Why? Because I was eating ramen every day. It was $5 for $1 ramen from Ralph's.
I still eat that shit,
Yeah.
man.
And it was so cheap. But I did what I had to do. And chicken dogs, like the shittiest chicken dogs, cheap.
Fuck, Dodie.
I had to do what I had to do. And I lived like that for several years.
Wow.
Several years in Hollywood. Yeah.
But you were at the Magic Castle every night.
Yeah, I was just walking down to the Magic Castle. Living
Man,
the
you
dream,
are a
baby.
rock star. You are a fucking rock
I don't
star.
know. I don't know what it is. I just did it, man. It's hard to believe, really. Hard to
That was
believe.
incredible. This is spectacular. So, what's the personal goal in the future? What's next? You just did a TV pilot. You can't talk about it much.
Yeah.
When can we expect it to?
If it hits, we'll know by May.
We'll know by May. Okay.
Yeah.
Do we know what it's called?
It's called Like Magic.
Like Magic.
NBC. Yeah, it was in the trades. It's talked about
All
and
right.
stuff. So it's good. Great cast. Great stuff. So if it hits, it'd be great. And then I'm working on this little movie project, and then I got clients that I work with privately too, illusionists and different people. And
Okay.
My product line, and I got new products I'm pushing, and I'm always doing something. Always doing something.
Fuck.
Yeah.
You're amazing. This is incredible.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
So is there anything on the bucket list as a magician? Like, is there something you haven't accomplished that you want to do? Something that's just like out there? I mean, you did.
I don't know.
do the
You know
Magic
what?
Castle.
I think I don't think that far ahead anymore. My goal is to really enjoy every day that I have. I just had several deaths happen recently. Different friends, close, some not so close, some magicians that I've known for years, and it makes you realize just enjoy what you're doing while you're doing it, because
Yeah.
that's really the only time you have,
Interesting.
and that puts you in that moment, and that makes you better at what you're doing at that moment,
Yeah.
because you're really doing it. Your head's not somewhere else. You're fucking really in it.
100% there.
You're
Yeah.
there. It's so amazing because the results are like incredible. Like, wow.
You can see the difference.
Yeah. Oh, unbelievable.
Jesus, man.
Yep.
Well, I'm so honored to have had you on here.
My pleasure,
I
buddy.
appreciate coming. Any last words before we go?
There's a quote that I have in my book, and it says, everything starts with a dream, and all your dreams in life can come true, just as long as you don't oversleep.
Ah, wow. I like that. Damn, I'm reading your freaking book tonight. Well, everyone, this is the Studio Corner with Tony Clark. Be sure
Thanks,
to
buddy.
look him up. It's
Thank you.
Tony Clark Productions on Instagram. Tony Clark all over the fucking internet.
Tony
This
Clark
guy's-
Magic. These days you can find. It's easy to find.
Yeah, I
people.
mean, look this guy up. This is some incredible stuff.
Thanks,
And
buddy.
hopefully I'll see you again at the Magic Castle and the gym.
Well, I'm sure that'll happen.
Absolutely, man. Thanks
pal.
for coming on.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.